Ah, the fall season. Nothing says pure happiness like crisp breezes, warm cinnamon drinks, and sleepy trees. La-di-da, la-di-da, 'tis autumn. While there are some weirdos like my mom that swear up and down that summer is the best season, my sunburn-prone skin would disagree. No one chooses the vampire life, but merely called to it. This may come as a shock to all of you, but I actually don't celebrate Halloween. We never have. Not even when we were kids. It had nothing to do with not living in a neighborhood for trick-or-treating, and it had nothing to do with the excessive amounts of candy. We just didn't. The closest we get to celebrating Halloween is watching movies. One movie in particular. We watch it every year without fail. Mostly because I'm the one who insists we do, because it's my favorite Halloween movie ever. But it's the closest we'll ever get to a good Marvin Martian movie. Warner Bros., come on! And that blessed movie is Space Invaders. Not to be confused with Space Invaders the video game, the title is a pun. Space Invaders came out in 1990 and was directed by Patrick Reed Johnson, who, coincidentally, also directed and wrote another favorite of mine, Dragonheart. This adorable movie is about a small crew of the Martian Civilian Asteroid Patrol, or CAP. While trying to contact the main fleet, they pick up on an Earth broadcast reporting a devastating and horrific invasion from Mars. Excited for some real action and for a chance to prove themselves, the CAP crew jump into action, not knowing the broadcast was actually a rerun of the famous 1938 Orson Welles' The War of the Worlds Halloween prank. They crash land in a small town in Illinois and go out to wreak havoc. However, none of the doomed Earthlings seem to be afraid of them and think they're in costume. It's only after a night of trick-or-treating and a run-in with the cops that they realize their mistake. With a downed ship and nowhere to hide, the Martian crew are the ones running for their lives from the gunslinging hick town folk and a murderous enforcer drone who doesn't take kindly to failure. There's also a side plot about a young girl named Kathy wanting friends and an old man needing to save his farm, but the best part of the film is the crew. I could watch a whole show about them on Asteroid Patrol, and apparently there was going to be a TV show, but it was never greenlit. Which is a crying shame because these guys have some of the best written and downright hilarious group dynamics I've seen. This crew is the perfect parody of the five-man band trope. We have Captain Bipto as the leader, who probably only got the position due to being someone's nephew. He doesn't act like a spoiled brat, he's just a clumsy idiot. Fun fact, I named my first cat after him. Rest in peace, Bipto.
What fine field indeed! What a bunch of Twinkie stuffing! Lieutenant Giggywig, really, you give these simple Earthlings far too much credit, from which I can overlook the battlefield and direct our victorious invasion force!
Something like this?
Actually, I was thinking of something a bit larger. Ah, the carnage begins! I love it! Hurry, I want to get in on all the fun!
Second in command, we have Lieutenant Giggywig as the tank. He is the definition of trigger-happy. He's not an incompetent soldier per se, he's just overzealous.
Finally, a real mission! Come back, Earth Scum! Oh yes, you! Prepare to die, Earth Scum! Again! That's it! I'm going to kill something if it's the last thing I do. And this time, nothing is going to stand in my way.
Arguably the most important member of the crew is Pilot Blasny as the foil, or Lancer. He's the first one of the group to question the supposed Earth invasion and spends most of the movie by himself trying to fix the ship he crashed. He kind of reminds me of Dodger from Oliver and Company and is honestly my favorite of the bunch.
Kids, 3D and driving just don't mix. Where are those guys? Geez, if I get this bucket fixed before they get back. They're walking home.
Did win, didn't we?
No, but if we think fast enough, we just might live to lie about it.
Next, we have Dr. Ziploc as the brains. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. He wears glasses, he has an accent. Hey, it was the 90s, what do you want?
It certainly is green here. Perhaps our camouflage is somewhat inappropriate. He keeps trying to put Tabain to slot B. Luckily, I remember to bring my distress-o-matic.
I love this guy. Come here, Zippo.
And I guess that would make Corporal Pez as the heart by default.
Who taught you to drive, you moron? I knew it. I'm going home in a bag. It's always the corporal that gets blown up first. What a bunch of morons! Let's flame these bozos. They're too stupid to live. Prepare to die, Earth Scum. Prepare to die, Earth Scum. I'm gonna make sure they carve that on your tombstone.
I just think they're neat. Now, I imagine you're wondering, well, if it's such a great movie, why haven't I heard of it? Well, as it turns out, Touchstone Pictures seemed to think it was appropriate to launch their Halloween movie in April. That's right, folks. On April 27th, 1990, Spaced Invaders, a Halloween comedy, came out in theaters in the middle of spring and earned a whopping $15 million. I'm not even going to bother adjusting it for inflation because the ratings for the movie and the blatant mishandling of the marketing side are an affront to my sanity. And I know none of you have ever heard this film because I can't find anything about it online. No interviews, no behind the scenes, barely any fan art. All I found was a Wikipedia article and the original trailer, which was certainly something. To supplement my research, I read through some of the reviews and ooh boy. I guess this is a you like it or you hate it film. Although, I would like to point out that all the 6 and above star reviews actually gave time and thought into their responses, while most of the 1-star reviews just said, movie bad, ugh. I mean, listen to this. This movie is that bad. This movie is beyond the stage of badness. It is painfully bad. Horribly, terribly, crime against humanity bad. Or, I'd rather spend the rest of my life watching grass grow and paint dry than to suffer through 5 minutes of this waste. Or, this makes Dumb and Dumber seem like a documentary about intelligent life forms.
Intelligent creatures. That'll throw them off the trail.
Indeed. It's one thing to just not like the movie and have a different sense of humor, but really? I don't even want to know what you think is comedy. And then I came across this review and had to force myself to stop because I was gonna blow a gasket. If the creators of this film had made any attempt at introducing reality to the plot, it would have been just one more waste of time, money, and creative effort. Fortunately, by throwing all pretense of reality to the winds, they have created a comedic marvel. Hi, welcome to Earth. We make movies as a form of entertainment and escapism from reality. Is this dude a Thermian from Galaxy Quest?
They're not all historical documents. I mean, surely you don't think that Gilligan's Island is a...
Those poor people.
I'm kidding, of course. Half of what I say is not to be taken seriously, but none of my threats are to be taken lightly. Anyway, back to the point. I love these little green morons. They have such a realistic sibling dynamic, it surprises me that they aren't blood relatives. Now, I will admit, some of the jokes are repetitive and not that funny. For example, there's this one townsfolk whose practically only line is, "What the hell is that?" He says it like 4 times, and he says it the exact same way each time. And each time, it's not that funny. But that's just one complaint I have. Some people have complained about the movie being too long at 1 hour and 40 minutes, and I never felt it was long. Even as a kid, I sat through the whole movie, and even the credits, because that song is a banger! Other people have complained that Blasny's voice actor was apparently pulling a Jack Nicholson impression? I don't know what they're talking about. And when I asked my mom about it, she didn't know either. I feel like this is a case of parroting what a famous person said to make yourself sound smart. But I digress. My only complaint is that there isn't more. Just a one-hit wonder. It makes my heart hurt that we won't see any more of the intrepid crew of Asteroid Patrol ship X-59YPQ. I guess I alone must take on the task of reviving this lonely franchise. But Martians are so damn hard to draw, and I can't find any good references of their jackets. How am I supposed to put together my Blasny cosplay if I can't get any clear photos of his patches? Well, I guess I have my mom's old airborne jacket as a stand-in. I'll get back to my regular content soon. I just wanted to tell people about my favorite non-scary Halloween movie. Thank you and good night.